Hello and welcome to Business This Week, where we take a critical look into pressing economic issues shaping our world. I'm Lawrence Osifo, your anchor for today's edition. On today's episode, we'll be taking a critical look at the 2024 appropriation bill, that is the 2024 national budget, that was just presented to the joint session of the National Assembly on Wednesday, 29th November 2023 by President Ahmed Bola Tinubu, and it's in the tune of 27.5 trillion naira. We'll be looking at the impact of the budget on the citizens this afternoon, and I have my guest already seated, a lecturer and an economist, to dissect the issue, Jimmy Oko. I also have a public affairs analyst, Comrade Harrison Izeko, who will be here to also look at these issues critically, how this budget is going to affect the common man on the street, what the budget is set to do for Nigerians. But before then, let me take you through on the budget and the breakdown. Now, President Ahmed Bola Tinubu has unveiled the 27.5 trillion budget estimate for the 2024 fiscal year. The budget was presented to a joint section of the National Assembly on Wednesday, where it is currently undergoing scrutiny and deliberation for final approval. In his presentation, he declared that the 2024 appropriation bill has been termed the budget of renewed hope. The proposed budget seeks to achieve job-rich economic growth and also macroeconomic stability, a better investment environment, and enhanced human capital development, as well as poverty reduction and greater access to social security, as contained in a document released by the Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Abubakar Atiku Bagudu. This is the breakdown of the highlight of the critical allocations of the 2024 budget. 6.75 trillion naira is projected for defense and security, while education has been earmarked to get 6.48 trillion naira. That is 96% of the amount is to be spent in the three sectors mentioned above. And the breakdown have here that defense we get 3.25 trillion naira, education 2.18 trillion naira, the health sector we get 1.33 trillion naira, while infrastructure will be having 1.32 trillion naira. Social development we get 534 billion naira. Social development and poverty alleviation. So the budget also have a benchmark of oil at the international market standing at $77 per barrel, and exchange rate is at 750 naira against the dollar. So with me this afternoon are my two analysts who will be here to join me to look in details into this budget. Very close to me, it's Jimmy Oko, a lecturer and an economist who understands the system of economics very well. Good afternoon, Jimmy. Good to have you on the program.
Good afternoon, sir.
All right.
Thank you very much.
And my extreme end, I have Comrade Harrison Izeko. Good afternoon, Comrade.
Good afternoon.
Okay.
Viewers.
All right. Now, you've seen the budget. It has been presented on Wednesday. And the National Assembly, the joint section of both the Senate and House of Reps, are already doing what they ought to do on the budget. A tagged budget of renewed hope, according to the presidency and the president. Now, what are we expecting from this budget? Like I said, how is it going to affect the common man on the street? I saw something yesterday from one analyst. He said, if the price of bread does not reduce and the price of pepper, tomato does not reduce in the market, it means the budget is nothing to the average citizens. So let me start from you, Jimmy, as a lecturer and as someone who understands economics. So what's your take on this?
Well, as a country, we first of all thank God Almighty that we have opportunity to be considering something called budgets.
Absolutely.
The truth is that there is nothing we can achieve without budget. It is the modern instrument that is used to achieving development. To that extent, we appreciate the government for finding the wisdom to say, let's present budget as it should be.
Okay.
And the fact that one unique thing about this one, the fact that the issue of timeliness is very much appreciated.
Yeah.
I think the president, while presenting it, also mentioned that they are working towards January 1st, December 31st fiscal year, which has not been possible in Nigeria for the past few years.
Okay.
The truth is, we have always had our budget pass either January, February,
even sometimes March.
March. So it will beat your imagination whether it's actually budget for the set period or not.
Okay.
So for what has happened, the timeliness and the purpose to present a budget, we quite appreciate that. But the quality of the information that was presented is another discussion.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Comrade, from the public affairs analyst point of view, he just spoke from an economist and a lecturer point of view. As a public affairs analyst, what's your take on the budget? Because you were here with me, that was last month or late October, for when he presented a supplementary budget of 2.2 trillion. You were here to, talk about it. Now we're here to the main budget of 2024. So what's your take?
Well, thank you very much. Good afternoon, viewers. Like I said the other time I came here, that it was not necessary to have come up with that supplementary budget in less than 3 weeks. I think a few days ago he signed that supplementary budget. And a few days later he presented another budget to the National Assembly. You see, it is difficult to understand the direction of this present administration, and I'm afraid if this renewed hope will definitely become hope. Because they say when the purpose of a thing is not defined, abuse is inevitable. If you see the breakdown of the budget, and as I speak with you now, the National Assembly have taken second reading of that budget.
Between Wednesday and today.
In less than 24 hours. It's an organized thing that let's just go, let's do it this way.
But you can't say that. You don't have proof to that. There's an organized...
I'm coming. The budget was passed. It's even less than 48 hours.
It's less than 48 hours. Or less than 48 hours.
As of yesterday, I've gone through second reading.
Okay.
And if you understand legislative business...
But that means they are doing their job.
When you get to the second reading, you're not going to committee level. Which work are they doing? Do you know the bulk of that budget? Now you think that people will just stand up and within 24 hours, if you want to do thorough work, let's not go there for now. What is important is that how will this thing meet the needs of the common man in the street?
Exactly, that's what we're here
What are the programs that will be matched with this budget when eventually be passed by the National Assembly?
Okay.
What is the program that this government have put in place that will meet the needs of the common man in our country?
Okay.
To be honest with you, Nigerians are suffering. Nigerians are suffering. The bulk of the money we work these days to buy fuel and diesel. I'm telling you, this past month, I just sit down to write down what I spent to buy fuel, both to my generator and the car that I'm driving. Only me is 126,000 naira.
In a month?
What I calculated.
In a month?
Yes. Because at times you just get the vehicle, you just drive, you move, you buy 5,000, 10,000. When I calculated them yesterday evening, I was afraid. I'm even asking myself, where did this money come from? So, Nigerians can no longer wait for this story, renew hope, things will be okay. How will this thing be okay? What are the parameters? What is the program? If we are saying program right now that we can match this budget with, we will not bother too much. But I will be honest with you, there is no direction on ground to actually ameliorate the suffering of the common Nigeria. For example, even in this same budget, you are aware that they have to spend 8.5 trillion to service debt.
Yes. We will get there.
This country, I don't know where we are going to. And a few days ago, the same president also presented another proposal to borrow more. So where is the direction? Where are they going to spend this money? Defense is taking the chunk of the money again. Education, yes,
yeah, defense and security and
education.
Yeah.
We do, what are the plans? What are the plans for the education sector? What are they going to do that will now match this budget if it's eventually passed? That is where we are having problem. That is where we have the lacuna. It's not just to bring the budget, just push it and it come out. we begin to plan what we are going to spend the money for when they've already passed the budget.
Okay.
And most time, when you present budget, you match the budget with project. Proposal. If you are doing the budget, you want to do a house, I want to build a house now.
Yeah.
I will put out the budget, 10 bags of cement for so and so, what I want to do. But in Nigeria context, we just do a lump sum security, we just push the money there. Education, so trillion. What are you going to do in the education sector that will match with the figure you are presenting? That is the area we don't explain.
Okay.
And that is where the National Assembly are supposed to do their work.
So I'm afraid what you are saying now is a thorough breakdown of
what you are doing. Don't use a lump sum, you just put it there. And most times Nigerian budgets of all kind of lump sum. That is why after the presentation, after the budget has been passed, they can decide to do anything. Because why? In the process of bringing the budget, there's no clear direction. They will just put education. In education, we have different areas. The primary, the tertiary, what are you going to buy? You're going to buy cars, or are you going to do infrastructure? Those things are not actually in the public domain. Okay. So I believe that my fear is that there is no clear picture how this budget will affect the common man in the street of Nigeria. We must not deceive ourselves.
Okay.
Because this continuous budget, department, you are getting this. By the time you cross there, the minister become another demigod and begin to allocate this fund, and nobody see what is happening at that level again. So I would prefer that when the budget is being presented, this issue of lump sum, they should break it down.
Okay, they should
to
be
the list.
Down.
So figure, so at the end of the day, when you are trying to now add it to account, whatever the last person got, a budget, you don't expect them to just get the total money.
Yeah.
But whatever that is going to come, there will not be accountability.
Okay.
So that Nigeria can say, okay, so area was budgeted for this. You got this.
Okay.
You say we're going to do this and this. We want to go and see if these things are actually there.
All right.
So the National Assembly, I know that before Christmas, they go and write it down.
They will to be passed and they go and recess.
Speedily.
But it's
a pity that even now that we have other political parties who we have expected to also hear their voice at the floor of the house. Even those who said they were obedient movement.
Okay.
Everybody is singing Hosanna.
Okay, let's rest that.
I expect in less than 24 hours.
Okay.
Nobody is even asking, nobody is even resisting it.
All right.
Everybody just keep quiet and they are pushing it. In the next few days, you see what is going on.
Jimmy, as an expert in the financial sector, you're not just an expert, you're also a lecturer. You understand the rudiment of this thing. Like a comrade said, do you think it would have been appropriate for there to be a total breakdown of this budget? Because we just saw defense and security, 3.25 trillion. We saw education, 2.18 trillion. You saw health, 1.33 trillion. We saw infrastructure, 1.32 trillion. Then poverty alleviation and poverty reduction, 534 billion. Is there supposed to be
poverty alleviation?
Yeah, poverty alleviation.
What is the program that you're going to alleviate?
So Jimmy, let me get your take on this.
Well, if I should start with that, let me, in as much as the budget issue has come as the usual rhetoric,
yes,
which doesn't really make any deeper meaning at this time to me, I also want to quickly say that the making of budget is not as easy as it is presented.
Okay.
The figures you hear the president mention, or those people mention, they are totals at each of the branches.
Okay.
The breakdown is always provided.
Yeah.
And when people ask, they get it.
Okay.
And you understand that the National Assembly go for oversight function.
Absolutely.
It is that breakdown that enables them to do that.
Okay.
So what happens is that the president, nobody comes down to say, this is the making of the budget.
Okay.
The minister that is involved, in charge of the budget and economic planning, calls different ministries, the directors of MDAs and all of those. Please come with what you want for the year. They will do a circular to all of these people.
Okay.
Then they come with their proposals. When they come with their proposal, what the minister does is to combine all of these totals, these things together, the items together, sum them up, and give to Mr. President.
Okay.
Mr. President presents it. Then the National Assembly members, what they do, because they have the details of the breakdown, they start checking which of these item is from my constituency. Is my consistency lacking? Is there anything from there? That is why you hear budget padding and all of that.
Yes, exactly.
And the truth is
so it's at that point that you hear the padding start coming in.
Because a senator is saying, all these projects are listed under works that amounted to that sum, which my brother said, that big sum. The breakdown is actually there with them. But the only problem I have is that the breakdown, like he said, should be made
it's not made public.
Should be made available to everybody. So that I know what is there. It's not only National Assembly that should
have the breakdown. Exactly. You can also do oversight.
If the senator I voted for refused to come and check if the project from my constituency was actually carried out, if he takes bribe, assuming he takes bribe from these people and he said he is done, he does not say anything about it.
True.
We have had issues the other day. We had one small street being constructed in some part of Benin here. Yes, you know what? That is a contract, according to report, that was executed in record by NDDC about 11 years ago. Because something is happening right now that might open that file.
They now went back to the site.
Yes, and the people around never knew that a project
has been since 11 years ago.
Yes, if they had known, they would shout. They would
more like a backlog kind of project.
And all of these, the problem with the budget is that the breakdown is not made available to the public, and that is quite unfair. It's actually provided. But now, coming back to it, in essence, I do not think, when the president said it's a budget of renewed hope, I only laughed because I actually looked at it, looking at the budget, looking at the previous, that of the previous
administration was 2023.
Yes, I just saw it. I started laughing because for me, there is nothing to celebrate. There is nothing to hope for. 27.5 trillion naira is estimated for expenditure. That's what you are going to spend. And you say that what you are going to receive, the income, is 18 point something trillion. Yes. That you are going to be able to, the deficit now, which is 9.something trillion now, will come through somewhere borrowing. And not only that, now this 27.5 trillion that represents the plan, the dreams, the aspirations of the administration, the government, what they want to do for the people. This is what is represented by 27.5 trillion. But that money, look at it. If 8-point-something trillion is to service debt, 9.17 trillion for other recurrent expenditure, like payment of salaries, payment to buy fuel for the
vehicles and all government officials.
At the end of the day, that's is that not 18 or 19?
Sorry, we just need to go on a short break. We'll continue. Please, we'll go on a short break. After the break, we'll be back for the continuation of the show. All right, welcome back. It's the business this week, and the economic program we use in shaping what's happening around us as a nation. I still have my guest with me, Jimmy Oko and Comrade Harrison here. So, Jimmy, you were saying something before we went on that break. I want you to continue.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Like, to tell you how deflated and empty that paper is, what they call budget, is this: that you are going to have 8-point-something trillion, 9-point-something trillion together as a recurrent. Out of that recurrent, one is debt recurrent now. A total of 18-point-something trillion out of it as recurrent.
Out of it already as recurrent.
And the components of budget, the aspect of budget that makes the people know what the government actually wants to do. The people in the streets want to know how it affects.
Exactly.
You were talking about how prices are going to reduce.
That is what the common man knows as budgets.
The aspect of budget that affects all of those ones is what we call capital expenditure. It means that 18-point-something trillion out of 27.5 is out. It had no effect to make on the life of the common man. It means the only hope the common man has is going to be that fraction of the money.
Wow.
The idea is this, even in our individual life, the income we receive is spent in two ways. We call it MPC, MPS, marginal propensity to consume, and marginal propensity to save. People have told us that marginal propensity to consume even though it satisfies us now, but it does not dictate anything about our development.
Okay.
What dictates our development is our ability to do that service, which accumulates into what is called investment later on.
Okay.
It means, therefore, that the government right now, the country we have right now, has no dream about changing lives, if you really want to follow the budget. Okay. What it only means is a country that is struggling to achieve what they can get today.
Okay.
And the meaning of that is that there's so much pressure right now on people to live. That is what the budget means.
Exactly.
There's so much pressure of the government trying to see what they can even do to make Nigeria exist for today economically.
Okay.
The meaning of that is that the money you pay to other countries of the world in the name of servicing debt is putting so much pressure on the life of Nigerians. Meaning that out of just, you take 18%, 18 trillion
out of the 27 trillion.
They see the slim chance.
The slim version, meaning that's maybe around 10 9 trillion.
So even at that, let me go far to tell you too that even out of that 27.5 trillion, we are basing the whole analysis on that. That's why we are saying at 18 out of it, only 9 trillion something is available. But it's not also true.
Okay.
Look at the past 3 years, 5 years. We've not been able to get up to 80%, raise 80% of our budgeted revenue. Meaning that 18.0 trillion, which the government has estimated as the revenue they are going to get, is not realizable.
Wow.
So the budget is in paper, it's not realizable.
Okay.
Tell me, how is the government, just look at desperate government that is saying we are expected to get 10 trillion naira
tax revenue.
How are you going to do that?
How do you do that exactly? That's the big question.
Businesses are existing.
Yeah.
What have you done? Which companies are in Nigeria?
Do you even have electricity to run businesses in the country?
How are you going to ask me? At the end of the day, it means what you are prepared to do is to send boys to go and beat people and collect their money. That is what it actually means. Otherwise,
let's not allege that.
No, there are things that are realizable.
Okay.
Outside that, you're only joking.
Okay.
The government, those in government, presented that budget, they're actually joking about it.
Okay.
Do you know what would have given Nigerians hope? In that budget, if you have heard something like that capital expenditure component.
Yeah.
If we say, in this budget, we want to fix refineries.
Okay.
In the next 4 months, 5 months.
But they already said that initially, that the refineries will start working to optimal capacity by the end of December. This is December already, so let's wait to the end of December.
Sir, okay, wait. You know, we are good at waiting.
Yes.
Sir, have you heard about anything going on in Warri Refinery?
Well, they cannot come and tell you.
Acting dramas.
But they can't come and tell you they are doing their things behind the cameras.
Sir, the idea is this, to be very honest with you, sir.
Okay.
You know, we talk about the pressure on the budget. Which is from servicing international debt. That servicing that is our problem, the only way out of it is to rely on the benefit God has given Nigeria, which is oil. This is it.
We'll go there because we'll talk about the price for crude oil at the international market.
Yes, I understand. But the aspect of the pressure is what I'm talking about now.
Okay.
The servicing of international debt. If you look at it, you know, we have, I think, approximately 100 trillion naira already.
Yes.
That the government is owning.
That's owning, yeah.
So the meaning of that's a less wonder why you see so much money marked for servicing of debt. And if you are servicing international debt, what it only means is that you are going to leave, the country is going to leave to help the progress of other countries.
Okay.
We are practically going to live as slaves in our own country. That is what it means.
Okay.
So there is nothing left to develop Nigeria anymore.
All right.
So if whatever it is, if what the government would have been doing is looking for easy ways to help Nigeria out of it.
Okay.
This is what happened a few years ago in the first administration of this era during Olusegun Obasanjo, when there was so much debt which was not even up to this. And the man came to Government with the help of Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, saw the whole thing and said, no, there's no way we can continue this. There is just no way. You check the budget. How are we going to survive with this servicing rate? The woman said, okay, Mr. President, you have to announce to Nigerians that we need to swallow the bitter pill now. Make payments, do what we can to do all of this so that we can survive.
Okay.
And that action was taken. Nigeria had breath for some years.
All right.
But right now, the money, all of the money we borrow from other countries, why we are in bigger problem is because the money come, what they are used for, we don't know.
We don't know exactly.
So the idea is, it's not as if this budget, this
servicing of borrowed.
It's not as if it's a bad idea.
Okay.
But when it is borrowed,
what do they use it for?
And right now, you want me to pay tax so they can use to service
the debt.
Then, okay, where the monies were borrowed, were they not used for something?
Okay.
Can't those things generate
more revenue for us to service the debt?
So the budget is absent about all of those ones.
All right. Comrade, now let's go to the exchange rates, because the budget had a whole lot. But because of time, we can't really get full details of everything, touch them one after the other. Now, they said they pegged exchange rates between the naira and the dollar from for the budget at 750 naira against the dollar. Then the international price of a barrel at the international market is $77 per barrel. What's your take on that? Is it fair enough? Is it good enough for the economy?
You see, do they have capacity to control the international market? We are just, what they are doing is just trying to do some calculations.
Okay.
And we are not being truthful to ourselves. If you go to the market today, we know the cost of dollar
against the naira at the black market.
At the black market.
Yeah.
So when you come up with a proposal, like he said, he's just looking for, the government is trying to see how they can just struggle to put some things in place to see if they can cushion the effects of this subsidy removal on our people.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, they are not serious about it.
Why did you say so?
Because the situation we have in this country now, I sympathize with them. Because you don't expect, as we speak, you are spending almost close to half of 40% of the budget to go and service debts. And the level we are now, and you also make another proposal again to borrow more money. So there is problem. One would have expected this government, when they were coming on board, to take some time to sit down and study the Nigerian economic situation.
Are you saying they came on board without studying the economy?
There is no preparation. There's something different from what we have been saying before.
But that should be your personal take.
I'm not saying it's my personal. It's my personal opinion.
Okay.
Because if there were preparation, if there were plans on ground, at least we are already running close to about 6 months.
Yeah.
We are starting to be seeing things different from the way things have been.
But they say we should give them time.
It is the same way. No, you see the issue.
The Attorney General came out 2 days ago.
If you say give us time, we want to see an arrangement different from what we have been going through before.
Okay.
We want to see the step you are taking that will change the face of this country.
All right.
That will cushion the effect of poverty on our people. The Nigerians will give you time. But for what we are saying today, it is not different from what it used to be. And it's even worse. The supplementary budget, we are aware that even with the suffering in this country, a government can still sit down and say, no, this is 1.5 million to buy vehicles for the office of the first lady. That tells you that they don't bother about the common man in this country. So, the budget, like my brother said, there is no direction that this budget will be able to alleviate the suffering of the common Nigerians.
Okay. We
have been budgeting money for roads. Let me use the Abuja.
Abuja.
Since the advent of democracy, every budget here, money is being budgeted for road. Have the road been done?
But we should have a hope that this administration is going to do something different, because if the minister, the current minister now, can travel down from Abuja to Benin on that same road,
it's an exercise in futility.
No, you can't say that. You can't say that.
This woman that was Minister for War during Obasanjo regime, what's her name again? She came to Lagos, Benin, Lagos on a road. She was weeping. So it's not new that somebody travel along Benin on a road.
That's a sign of hope already for the residents.
It's a calculation to drag Nigeria's attention to see that the government.
I don't think that's true.
For me, I will be happy.
Okay.
If President Bola Ahmed Tinubu can fix Nigeria, I will support him. But with the way he's going, there is no blueprint. There is no direction.
You can't say so because you're not a part of the administration.
I am a Nigerian.
Yeah, you are a Nigerian.
I'm asking them today to tell Nigerians this is the direction of this government. That this is what this government wants to do. This should be on paper. This should be a vision. There should be a mission statement how you are going to get to this direction. Nobody is talking to you. It's not enough to drop a current budget and give no some and tell them. It is the same way we have been doing it. They are not doing anything different from what we have been seeing. That is my problem.
Okay.
If this government was actually prepared, remember it's the same APC government. One would have expected that they should progress. They told us that they made so much issues and all that
on ground.
That they are trying
of course, every government will always say that. Every government that comes on board will always say that. It's a normal talk.
From what you are bringing now, we have not seen the direction that it will be different from what it used to be. For example, before Buhari left government, we were buying fuel for 200 or something. It was not as bad as this.
It was not even up to 200. It was not as bad as this. Thereabout.
You just came on board, subsidy is gone when you have not seen what is on ground. The only thing the common Nigeria enjoy is that just subsidy they were paying. That is the only thing that we can say, okay, at least at that level.
But the thing is, it was a fraudulent act, so they have to remove subsidy.
What have they put in place when they were removing it? What is on ground? You don't just wake up and say this thing is bad. That is the problem I have with Nigerian leaders. When they get into power, they feel that everybody that was there before, they didn't do it well. They want to do things their own way. With their own way, you want to do it. What is the vision?
What are your visions?
You are not telling people about what you are doing. They will resist it.
Okay.
We are working. If you tell me you want to make a change, want to effect change in all the departments, want to change everything, and the change, I'm not seeing it. Remember, even in the Bible in Habakkuk, he said, write the vision
and make it plain.
Make it plain.
So you can run with it.
So you can run
and
with
you're not be weary and tired.
Yes, the vision. We are not seeing it.
Okay, they feel they have their vision, but they shouldn't tell you about it.
No, it is with them.
Yes, it's with
they
them.
They are the only people that know what
they are doing.
And the Nigerian people don't know what they are doing. Then the Nigerian people will resist it.
It will translate.
If we understand that, yes, within the next few months or 1 year, if we go through this suffering, we will buy fuel for 100 naira per liter or it's and the case may be. Then we might just, okay, let us give them the
benefit of doubt.
Let us go through it. We know that after the tunnel, there will be light. There will be light. But from what you are seeing, there is no direction.
Okay.
Nobody is talking. Just the same way. If they pass this budget now, they will just when December have come again. Okay. They want to pass
another one for 2025.
How they want to do it.
Okay.
I am not here to castigate the government.
All right.
I'm only saying that the government, the present administration, should let Nigerians know what they are doing.
Okay.
We want to see this your vision.
All right.
Renew hope. We want to see how you want to renew the hope from department to department, segment to segment. Poverty alleviation, I want to do this.
Okay.
Is it in agriculture? We want to give a note to farmer. We want to see the reformer. Those are the things we want to see.
Right.
So that the hope will be built. We will not know that in the next few months something can happen.
Right.
But to just tell us that renew hope, we should go and sit down, Hosanna, only the rich are getting it. It cannot
all right, we need to start rounding up. But the last question we used to round up, it's the inflation rate. Now, the question I asked him was about the price of the oil at the international market, pegged at $77 per barrel, and the exchange rate at 750 naira, I guess $1. Now, you are an economist. You understand the principle very well. Do you think that's an ideal price?
Well, that is not even a subject of discussion.
Okay.
The idea is, I want to believe that those who formulated the budget have taken into cognizance the fluctuations
of the market.
I've decided to take an average.
Okay.
It's always like that.
Yeah.
There's no absolute price that should have been taken.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the thing is that when it enters, then you adjust to whatever it is.
What it is.
But to quickly go back to
saying.
All
right.
I want to, you know why earlier admitted that I do not see hope in it, in the budget. You know, as an individual, when your income reduces, what do? You adjust your consumption
pattern and know what you spend on.
Yes. The President Bola Ahmed Tinubu presented a budget that captured the same nature of consumption, the consumption pattern, the government wastages are still there. So if you look at that 8-point-something trillion that represents the current expenditure, go and check. You see that up to 60%.
And this seems to be the highest budget ever since 1999.
Of course. You will see that 8-point-something trillion for the current expenditure, more than 60% of it is certainly going to be cost of running governance.
Running governance, for the villa, government officials.
Do you know that the Speaker of the House of Representatives have close to 100 staff?
Just the Speaker alone?
Yes. I'm not talking of the Senate President.
Just the Speaker
I'm not talking
alone?
Of ministers. So all of these persons, they are under monthly stipend.
Absolutely.
And you know what? They are giving cars to drive anywhere.
Of course, they have official cars.
So government wastages is the issue. If you can reduce the consumption pattern, especially for the area that are not needed in the aspect of governance.
Yes.
There are presidents in some countries of the world that use bicycles sometimes.
Absolutely, we've seen ministers and
you mustn't move around with all of these exorbitant things and so much avoidable expenditure and all of that. So I think the aspect of the budget that capture the wrong tradition that has always been is the recklessness in the aspect of the executive that has always been.
Okay.
And the legislature, you can trust them, because they won't fall out from the executive, so they are not going. Okay, you can even see, you saw them the other day.
The SUVs and where the budget
came to present budget in the National Assembly. Members of the National Assembly were singing. They were singing allegiance, songs of allegiance. Yes,
but that should be expected, because they are happy that the budget has come.
Ideally, that shouldn't be.
Okay, ideally.
Yes, because when you are doing so, it means first of all you have compromised.
Okay.
You are supposed to be an independent aspect of government.
Yes.
The West Senate President is like Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
That's the truth.
President.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you are going to be singing songs of allegiance because he has come in to present budget, it means you are not going to talk about the interests of Nigerians after all. Then coming back to the issue of subsidy you mentioned.
Yes.
The word subsidy is not a crime.
Okay.
When you hear a president say subsidy is an organized crime in Nigeria, what it means is that the president is weak.
Oh, wow.
This is the idea, sir. What is subsidy? Yes, that the cost of doing this thing is so much. We do not want citizens to suffer, pay so much to get this thing.
Okay.
So what to use their what belongs to them to pay part of the cost so that they can pay little and get it.
Okay.
Then where is that a crime? That's not a crime. The crime involved is that the government instituted some individuals to do it on their behalf.
Okay.
And these persons are paid excesses. At the end of the day, they don't take the benefit back to the real owner, the Nigerians. Then you should be able to situate what the crime is. The crime is with the people, those people.
Okay.
It's with the government, not the acts of subsidy itself. So then a responsible government, as we have seen in all other parts of the world, a responsible government, when they identify such crime, you know what? They do not make the whole citizens suffer by removing it.
They make some citizens suffer? Okay.
Then some persons were found
guilty.
Some persons were part of this. About 11, 12 of them then, who were the major oil marketers like a good luck to Jonathan's
administration. Yes.
That these persons are giving 1.3 trillion naira every year to finance a subsidy. To do this thing. And they will take 70-80% of the same oil to other neighboring countries, Benin Republic, Cameroon, all of that, so that they can sell at higher prices. Yes.
You know, when they even remove the subsidy, those guys over there were crying on our behalf.
So at the end of the day, when you come, the little that will come to Nigeria will not be enough. Then they will be shouting, oh, fuel is finished, it's not enough. There's scarcity. Then by the next scarcity, people start to pay more for it. So it means, where are these people?
Okay.
They were given license.
So they should be brought to book.
Yes. So why say that this whole act of your failure to punish these people should not come back to
the people
to become a subsidy is crime.
Okay.
If you say subsidy is crime and we are removing, what you are invariably saying is that we should suffer for the incompetence
of the government.
Okay. So removal of subsidy, let us agree, It is failure on the aspect of the government to punish those who are culpable.
All right. We have less than 2 minutes to wrap up this segment of the show. Now, your final take and your final take. Comrade.
Well, I want to believe that Nigerians have suffered too much.
Okay.
The common man is street of Benin, everywhere this country is suffering.
Okay.
I want to appeal to this present administration.
All right.
They should be ready to do what is right.
Okay.
We should think of the people before it's too late. Nigeria should allow our budget translate to the life of the common man in the street.
All right.
Budget should not end at the level of ministers, Abuja, just Chonran, and the common people suffering. They should look for a way to go back to this subsidy payment so that the common man
at least we see something they are enjoying.
Benefit something from this country.
All right.
That is my stand.
All right.
If that is the only thing the common man will benefit, let them pay.
Fine. Okay.
Because you cannot punish people for the sin of another person. Or as those persons who have been in charge of this subsidy issue should be brought out and let them go face the charges. So that Nigeria will know that they are suffering for it, then we cannot know how to be patient. If not, we can no longer take patient for an answer.
All right. Thank you, comrade. Jimmy,
we have come to discuss issue of the budget.
Yes.
All the relevant indicators in the budget are not realizable. They are not real. So the only way to ameliorate the condition a little, thank God it has not gone back to the executive. It's still with the
legislature.
We are appealing to the legislators down that they should sit down and go into the details of that expenditure pattern in the budget.
Okay.
As much as they can, cut away all government wastages that are avoidable.
All right.
Ensure that more of the funds that would have been used to fund government wastages are shifted back to the capital expenditure
that will benefit the masses.
Yes, that is what we
all right. Thank you very much, Jimmy and Comrade Ezeko, for joining me on the show this afternoon. And that's the size of the package on the program this afternoon. We want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you for joining us and for watching. We just hope and pray, like they said, that the budget will actually affect the life of every common Nigerians on the streets. Because the truth is, if the average Nigerian can actually buy the basic necessities they need at home at a very low and affordable rate, I think life will actually be better for each and every one of us. And I'm Lawrence Osifo saying, have a beautiful weekend and a beautiful month ahead of you. Bye for now.